All right. So here we have a handle by the name of Andrew, and he is explaining how it is not just the US, but also the UK, France, and Japan. In all these countries, bond yields are currently going up. What you are looking at on your screen is the UK 30-year gilt, the French 30-year, the US 30-year Treasury, and Japan's 30-year. All four of them are going up. Why are all four of them going up? He is quite surprised, is not he? Any person with a finance background would be astonished and ask, how can this be happening? So you see, he does not actually know that all the currencies of the allies they are nothing more than isotopes of the dollar. The allies' valuations are artificially kept high by taking free dollar swaps. So how is he supposed to understand why everyone's yields are going up? Just enjoy it. Enjoy the de-dollarization process. All right, let's move on. Over here, Luke Gromen is the one who is saying that the time has finally come to revalue gold and to fix the price of crude oil per ounce. You see that the valuation for a certain number of barrels of oil will be equal to that many ounces of gold. And after that, the dollar should be weakened, which is to say it should be devalued. Gold should be announced as a neutral reserve collateral. And energy should be priced in gold, which is something I have been telling you for 4 years, for when the reset finally comes. So some number of barrels of oil will be equal to some ounces of gold. This is only to calculate the valuation. No real gold is actually supposed to be given. It is only for the purpose of calculating the valuation of that oil. So this whole thing is very clear. And here Luke is saying exactly that now the US and China cannot continue playing this dollar game. It is coming to an end. Well, our viewers have known this for 4 years anyway, but the conflict, this Iran conflict that has happened, it started with this very objective, that the pricing of oil should be removed from the dollar and should begin to shift towards the valuation based on some ounces of gold. The invoice that is generated should be valued according to some weight of gold and not by the dollar. Obviously, you can make the payment in any currency. So Luke is also saying the very same thing, and everyone pretty much understands what is going on here. Now, regarding Google, the news has come out that you will only be able to use Gmail up to 5 GB unless and until you provide your phone number. Meaning, they now want even more of your personal data. But basically, it is not about the data here. The main point is that they are de-dollarized. Now, all those free things that Western platforms were allowing us to use, that is going to become much more difficult going forward. So now you will have to pay money to use every single Western platform. Are you understanding this? They are de-dollarized. So in a very short time, you will see many tech companies merging with each other. And they will merge together so lovingly that it will come as a surprise to you. This is because our experts were operating under the assumption that America is a capitalist country. They had no idea that it is actually a communist country. And they were thinking this was some kind of private sector innovation happening. Now they will finally realize when these mergers happen so lovingly, our businessmen are going to be so shocked. How did this company get in bed with that one? It is because both of them were enjoying the benefits of the dollar printing machine. That is why the deep state made them sit down together. So when these mergers happen, it will be a big shock. It will feel like, hey, this was its competitor. How did it end up with them? Because there is no private sector at all, neither in the US nor in China. It is all about the dollar printing machine. Let's move on. Intuit is about to lay off 17% of its workforce, and as far as I can tell, it is happening this year. We would want the whole of California to, well, I mean, how much of the tech sector will be left? That is the question, right? Because my prediction is that by 2026 end, it is all over. So now they are slowly delivering these shocks, some layoffs from Meta, some layoffs from Oracle. Now the Intuit one has come up, and did someone write in the comments that if Intuit's news has come, then not a single company will be left. Everyone will have layoffs. Our viewers are already aware of this. With de-dollarization, the tech sector just cannot survive. Let's move on. Now, this is very interesting because the release valve becomes the dollar, and Luke is saying very clearly that the dollar is gone. It absolutely has to be devalued. So I feel that if the crisis event does not actually happen this year, then the government is going to face a very massive liability from the sovereign gold bonds maturity, which will start maturing from 2027 and then 28, 29. That is how the entire maturity period for the sovereign gold bonds is going to run. So before the maturity period starts, the price of gold must go down. If it does not, then the government will be forced to pay a very, very large liability. So I think that is precisely why it is one of the main reasons why the crisis event absolutely has to happen this very year. So the crisis should come this year, the dollar gets a significant trim, and after that, gold goes down in rupee terms, and then in 2027, the government can make the sovereign gold bond maturity payments. Ideally, things should proceed in this exact sequence. But let's just see what happens. So first of all, as you already know, anyone who listened to the last talk on May 13th, they already knew that absolutely nothing was going to come out of the US-China visit. So just now, coming from President Trump's team, a list has been put out saying that we have achieved this, and this. And within that, you will find they are talking about China having commented that they will buy oil, buy agricultural products, and the White House. President Trump's team is claiming that China will provide access to the rare earth minerals and etc. that are needed for semiconductors. China has completely countered, saying, no, we did not promise anything like that. There is absolutely nothing of the sort in our list. So for those who heard the May 13th talk, I had told you even before the meeting that no outcome is going to come. Even on the day of the meeting, I had posted a photo of American nuts and told everyone that absolutely no outcome would come of it, because this entire team, the one with President Trump's businessmen and the deep state's toolkits, the whole thing that China visit they did, it was basically an AI bubble. They essentially visited China with an AI bubble. And China knows full well that it has a 90 to 95% dominance when it comes to the supply of rare earth materials. And obviously, the US is in no position whatsoever to be able to dictate any terms to China. So from that perspective, no outcome was going to come out of it. So in the same way that Bharat has committed to a $20 billion investment, the White House is now telling us that, well, China has also made a commitment that they will be buying oil. Because this is what all the BRICS countries are wanting. That oil should be purchased. All the natural resources of America and the Western countries that have been lying there, completely intact. They have been lying there untouched for so many years, and that's because the dollar was doing the job of stealing others' resources by printing more and more dollars to buy up their resources. Now, because this is about to be reversed, America will have to export, which means America will have to extract its own natural resources. It will have to pollute its own cities, and then the purchasing power of the other currencies that will be heavy, those are the people who will buy. So Bharat has committed to a $20 billion investment, and China is also saying, we will take your oil just like Bharat will. So it has become abundantly clear that the time has finally come to use the West's intact natural resources. And this entire team, this is the very thing they went to discuss with Xi Jinping. Look, a buyer is a buyer, he is his own master. And an investor is also an investor, he is also his own master. It's understandable that you need these commitments before the dollar devaluation, that you're scared, that much is understandable. And the way all the bases have to be abandoned one after the other, we've seen entire videos coming from Germany showing how the American soldiers are leaving. So it's become very clear that as they continue to vacate more and more of these bases, it will no longer be possible to steal things from that many nations. And the more it's not possible to steal, the more they will have to manufacture things themselves and export to others. So for the very first time, the Western countries will get the exporter gimmick that they were selling to Asia until now. All the economists together were selling this gimmick of exports to Asia. They were saying that your exports should be very high, only then can you become rich. By saying this again and again, all the natural resources of Asia and the global south were finished. They were made to reduce them by printing dollars. They kept their own intact. So now they are the ones who will get the exporter tag. Okay? So President Trump, in his second term since he came, started removing climate regulations in America and child labor in Florida. It started getting approved, and gradually they started removing labor regulations, climate, labor, everything. So when it comes to their own manufacturing, then they understand how much hardship there is, how much hard work is involved. 5 vacations a year will not be possible, and they will have to pollute their own climate as well. So all of BRICS Plus and the entire global south are ready to commit to buying your things. But first, they should at least start manufacturing them. Manufacturing is not a 5-minute or 2-minute noodle task. And looking at the faces of the white people, there is absolutely no sign that they will be able to do manufacturing. But they are saying that they will. You just have to commit. So China has talked about oil, and we have also talked about oil. We will also buy some things. It is being said that China is also buying agricultural produce. They are ready to take it, even the GMO one. At least that's what is being said from the US side. Let's see. But people are ready to buy. I mean, the yuan is ready to appreciate. The rupee is also ready to appreciate. And then we will start buying. But you must at least start manufacturing. So far, there is no sample of their manufacturing, but they are saying that they will do it. Let's see what happens. So this is what we are going to see going forward. All these countries will ask for money by holding investment summits in their countries. They will tell everyone to purchase our things, just like we used to go to investment summits. Give money, like that. Now it's their turn. Give money, give money. It's very natural that when things reverse, this was bound to happen. So it's very difficult. This is a painful churn because Asian countries have become so accustomed to using a cushion cover until it completely tears apart. That habit of poverty that has been formed during the period of de-dollarization. And their habit of using things once and then throwing them away to buy another one. Changing these habits is going to take a lot of time. This is not going to be an easy transition. It's understandable that their habits have been spoiled. We have spoiled their habits a great deal by bearing their share of poverty. So for that, they will now have to go to digital prison cities. And then chips will be installed under the skin, and then it will be measured how much this person is consuming. So these days are coming for Western citizens, because until now they were having fun just printing currency. So a very interesting and funny video has gone viral on X, and in that video they have been named American Pugloos. American Pugloos. So that video is very interesting, and it is being said in it that you can invest in American stocks while sitting in Bharat. Why is this being said? Because the batches of NRIs who started returning since last year are being trolled with this video. So this ad for American Pugloos that has come out is very funny, and our viewers will not find it new at all because they already know that I say all these things. So they ask him if he is Karan, and he says, no, my name is Karen. It is not Karan. Then they say you are eating a cheeseburger while he's eating a vada pav. So they say you are eating a cheeseburger and throw it on him like that. So it was quite, and the way it was said, while taunting that this is an epidemic, American Pugloos is an epidemic, and when the ad ends, the last statement is, did you have a bad dream? So he gets up and says, no, I saw the American dream. So it was very on point, clearly showing de-dollarization. Whoever wrote the script for this clip, it is very, very funny. And the really interesting thing is that you can invest in American stocks while sitting right here in Bharat. Why is this carrot being dangled? This carrot is being dangled because the batches that have come here from there of NRIs, their investments are already in American stocks. They still think that these numbers are probably real. That is exactly what is in their minds. So taking advantage of that, whoever wants to do business will say, yes, do it while sitting in Bharat. invest in American stocks. So this is what it is supposed to be. That is the whole idea. So slowly you will see that it will be said that, hey, America needs investments. It needs your money. America needs your money. So you must put your money in America. So when Gautam Adani ji also tweeted, he had also announced a pretty massive investment, and you know very well how he was targeted by releasing the Hindenburg reports, and then in the SEC, which is their regulatory body, America's SEC, they have officially filed a case. So what is being said, what is coming in the news is that because the Adani group has an investment promise, this case will be dropped. That is what is being said. So they have this kind of settlement system in their court of law, that if there is some extraordinary offer on the table, your cases can be forgiven. So that is how they operate. They do not call it corruption, they call it the lobby business. The 100 to 200 rupees we give to someone here, to the babus at the local level, they give them $1 lakh, $2 lakh, and even billions of dollars. They call that the lobby business. What we call corruption here is for them an official legal lobby business for which an invoice is generated. So it is just that their name for it is different. They call it the lobby business. We call it corruption. So that is the difference. So there in the lobby business, it is acceptable that you offer something else and the cases against you will be dropped. Clear? So a very strange handle has come to my attention. This strange handle is saying that the medal that the Bharatiya Prime Minister Modi ji got in Sweden, there are two types of medals, one for achievements and the other for respect. So Modi ji got the respect medal. So this Chitra Subramaniam, if you read her bio a little, you will understand. The same legacy media who think they can still fool all the people. They have it in their minds that they can still fool people. Huh? For 30 to 40 years, the way legacy media has been fooling people by printing fake headlines again and again. This Chitra madam thinks that she can still spread negativity by spreading fake news and talking nonsense. So you can understand the sadness, pain, and suffering of this strange handle of the liberal media. Now, the people who repeatedly come to me because I point out fake news, they are always saying things to me. At an event, some people were telling me, sir, how can this be? Is everything fake? And how do we connect it? How will we know if this is fake or why it is happening? How is it happening? And why do you keep on saying that Sir Adam Smith is involved? Adam Smith's capitalism is so very good. Prosperity cannot happen without it. These are the kinds of people who argue and say these things. The ones who just cannot connect the dots, they do not understand that they read 3 to 4 different types of headlines. The summary of all 4 is exactly the same. So they think different headlines have come out, like when the Prime Minister himself did a fact check. Now listen to this carefully. The Prime Minister fact-checked CNBC and said that this is an absolute and total lie. We are not going to impose any such cess on those who are going to travel abroad, nor has there been any such discussion, nor are we even thinking about it. So after CNBC published this, they obviously had to withdraw it because it was based on their so-called sources' information. This is our legacy of fake, insolent, and shameless media. So the Prime Minister himself has to do the fact checking. And CNBC, you understand which media group is being talked about, right? The CNBC one, you understand. So somewhere there is a certain businessman. Listen very carefully. Somewhere there is a businessman who is getting a stomach ache. What is his stomach ache about? His stomach ache is all about how the UAE agreed to 30 million barrels for 30 million barrels of crude oil to be stored right here inside Bharat. Because if the UAE is in Bharat, inside of Bharat's strategic oil reserves, then whenever we want to use it, we can extract and use it from here without the requirement of any transport. What kind of relationship does the Bharatiya Prime Minister have with MBZ? That he addresses him as my brother. If Bharat continues to move strategically forward in this manner, then how much of a loss will my business suffer? Somewhere that businessman is thinking exactly this. He is the one who owns so many channels in the media industry. He is running fake news against the nation from the CNBC handle by saying this, that the Bharat government will impose a cess if you travel abroad, meaning spread negativity about the government, because this is the very government that goes abroad for Bharat's national interest on the basis of a personal partnership and arranged for 30 million barrels of crude oil from the UAE's MBZ to be brought here for the people of Bharat. So his profit is taking a hit, his entire crude oil business. So because he owns the media, he is spreading fake news and all this negativity from there. Obviously, that businessman must not have gotten any sleep at all when the Prime Minister himself tagged and fact-checked him. Right? You understand exactly who I am talking about, do not you? So this is the same Rahul Gandhi who is always saying that this is the Ambani-Adani government, right? So you should absolutely understand this clearly, all of you listening to me. A businessman has nothing to do with any of this. He has to conduct his business in every single region, in every single state. He has to do it in every country. You should never ever expect him to become a nationalist and do business for just one nation. He simply will not be able to do that. Any person who has become completely blind in the sole pursuit of profit maximization, no matter how much wealth you give that person, their appetite is simply never satisfied. A person like that has absolutely nothing to do with the well-being of the nation. Right? So the opposition's allegations that this or that government is in favor of a certain businessman, if it were truly in the interest of any business, then the Prime Minister would not have made this deal with the UAE at all. Right? Just like Pakistan, petrol would be 400 rupees a liter here, and that 300 rupees profit would go right into that businessman's pocket. Then he would say a few nice things for the Prime Minister, right? They would not spread this fake news. Anyway, let us move on. So these two fighter jets in the US joined up in formation like this, and then obviously they crashed and the pilots managed to eject. So I found this quite lovely, you see, because instead of destroying an entire third nation just to get new defense contracts and orders using the taxpayers' money and making a profit from that, it is so much better to just collide and crash your own old stock. That old stock of weapons that you are currently emptying out in Ukraine, because there is no real war going on there, just as I told you. Pause, restart, pause, restart. Absolutely nothing is happening in Iran either. As of now, nothing. Pause, restart, pause, restart. That is exactly how it is going to be. So by doing all this, you are just clearing out your old defense stock by hitting a missile in some, empty place or whatever it is you do. It is much better to empty out your old stock by having them collide right there in America. Much better. You destroy some Iraq, you go and destroy some Afghanistan, you destroy some Syria. It is so much better to finish off your old stock of weapons by making them collide in America. You just need to get new orders, do not you? That is the real reason you wage war, not to win. Anyway. Now here is a guy named Brian Allen who is clearly stating that AI is very deliberately shifting economic power. So where exactly is it shifting it from? From the highly educated, often female and democratic leaning workers. And it is shifting towards the vocationally trained working class and often male voters, which is exactly what I told you so clearly, that after de-dollarization, a massive, truly massive level of toxic patriarchy is going to be unleashed in the West. In just a few years, they will officially declare that women are not human, you see. I am saying this is the same thing the CEO of Palantir is saying here. He is saying the exact same thing. From highly educated, often female, democratic-leaning workers, where is all that power going to go from there? Vocationally trained, working class, often male voters. Are you understanding the point? This is what the de-dollarization process is. The fake feminism that was running by just printing currency is about to be closed down. Let us move on. A very important prediction. Because on 7th March 2023, I had tweeted and suggested that if Pakistan wants to generate cash flow, you should look closely at the screen. The tweet, if Pakistan wants to generate cash flow, then in the temple ecosystem, it must make all those ancient Bharatiya temples available and arrange for free entry and exit for all Bharatiyas. A prediction from 7th March 2023, and Pakistan just yesterday on the 17th of May 2026. The pre-partition names in Lahore, right inside Lahore, they have started renaming places to the old names from before the partition. So Islampura has been renamed to Christian Nagar. Babri Chowk has been renamed to Jain Mandir Chowk. Pakistan has done this. Listen carefully. They changed the names of about 7 to 9 places just yesterday. For anyone who has missed this news, it is a very important piece of news about decolonization and de-radicalization. Islampuri's new name is Krishna Nagar and Babri Chowk's new name is now Jain Mandir Chowk. Are you getting it? Let us move on. The prediction of 7th March 2023 was fulfilled on 17th May 2026. And more of this will continue to happen going forward. The process of decolonization. President Trump is telling the chip manufacturers to move all their manufacturing from Taiwan to America because China wants Taiwan. This prediction from 14th February 2025, and I had given it even before that, when in November 2021, I had said that the $4 hotspots, POK, Taiwan, Ukraine, and Iran, Israel, exactly these 4 hotspots are to be reversed before 2030. So Taiwan is bound to be handed over. I have been saying this since 2021, but on 14th February 2025, I clearly wrote here that this Bharatiya reporter from the legacy media is a fool who is asking Trump a question about countering China. Trump wants it. She has no clue that Trump is shifting the entire semiconductor business from Taiwan to the US and asking Xi Jinping to hurry up the takeover. A prediction from 14th February 2025, which President Trump officially stated on 16th May 2026, that, hey, you need to quickly move your business out of Taiwan, right? Because Xi Jinping really wants Taiwan. The prediction for 2025 is now for 2026. All right. China is simply threatening the US to spoon feed them Taiwan, you see. They are asking for it without any kind of military attack at all, without destroying Taiwan. Spoon feed means you serve it to us on a silver platter. That's what China is asking for. Let's see if America agrees or not, or if they will have to show something militarily. Let's see. Okay, so the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation has completely exited from Microsoft, whatever their holding was, 100% of it. Whatever stock they had, they have sold every single bit of their Microsoft stock. The foundation used to hold 7.7 million shares of Microsoft. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, they have exited from Microsoft. It is understandable why, is not it? Everyone understands. Let's move on.